I've been lucky enough to travel to the Maldives and it is a stunning paradise. And this is a curry that we would eat at breakfast. If you don't want to eat it at breakfast, of course, it's fantastic for lunch or for dinner. Now, first you need a big saute pan or pot roast just like this. I'm going to add some oil. Just use some vegetable oil or peanut oil. And now I'm going to add some whole spices. First, some cinnamon. This is just one cinnamon stick that I'm going to break in half. And 2 cardamom pods. These are so tiny, but I tell you what, they've got lots of flavour to them. So I'm just going to bruise them just to release some of the seeds. They smell lemony and it will translate throughout the whole curry. And some fennel seeds, so I'll sprinkle them in. And they're just going to sizzle away for a few minutes. Now I'm going to add some onions, ginger and garlic to a food processor because I want to mince them quite finely. So 1 large brown onion, I'm going to cut into 4 pieces. And the reason I'm cutting into 4 pieces is because the garlic's so small, so I want everything to chop at the same time in my food processor. And the ginger, I'm just going to give a helping hand by just cutting it into rounds. And now the lid can go on and we're going to blitz this until it's minced. Don't make it into a paste. You do want a little bit of texture in these vegetables. This is looking perfect. That's what I need for this recipe. Now, before I add this, I'm going to add some fresh curry leaves. You can find curry leaves at most greengrocers now. I've seen them in supermarkets. Now, you can see that they start to sizzle up. Be careful with that because it does spit a little bit. And when you start to smell the curry leaves, it's time for us to add our minced garlic, ginger, and onion. Great. And mix in these onions. I'll add a little bit more oil and we just want to get a little bit of colour and soften these onions. Right, while that's cooking away, let's get on to our tomatoes. I'm just going to cut our tomatoes in 4 and they can go in. Essentially, I'm making a tomato sauce, but a really rough tomato sauce. And I like to use fresh tomatoes for this. Lovely. Before I add the tomatoes, I'm going to add some more spices. Some turmeric, chili powder and cumin. And just allow these to toast once more. I can start to smell the turmeric, I can smell the cumin, and I can definitely smell that chili. Great. Now, because these tomatoes are raw, we really do need to cook this off. So give this about 5 to 10 minutes. While this is cooking away, I'll prepare the chicken. The chicken of choice is chicken thigh because it's got a little bit of fat in it and it's going to stay really moist throughout the cooking process. I've just got chicken thigh that has no skin on it and I'm going to cut each thigh into 4 pieces. This is cooked down now, so we can add our chicken. This is a type of curry where you don't need to fry the chicken first. It's actually much better to add it to the onions afterwards. And now I'm going to add a really interesting ingredient. This is pandan leaf, very similar to vanilla. It's slightly sweet and mellow, and it does give this such a nice flavour. So in that goes with some coconut milk, and I'm going to use 270 millilitres of coconut milk. Give that a mix. I'm going to turn the heat down, and you can see it starts to become really, really creamy. And just for some extra liquid while this is cooking, I'm going to add about ½ a cup of water to start with. Keep a little bit on the side, and as this cooks, it may need a little bit more. So once it starts to come back up to the boil, I'm going to season it generously with some salt. Lid goes on, and I'll turn that down, and this is going to cook very gently for 20 minutes. All right, let's do the big reveal. Oh, it smells like breakfast in the Maldives. It smells so good. Now I'm going to serve it in a small copper pot with some basmati rice on the side. Get lots of sauce there and the chicken. And just for presentation, I'm just going to get a little bit of that cinnamon stick and a little bit of coriander on the top. that I'm going to just break up with my fingers. This is a beautiful curry. I love Maldivian food. It's a combination of Indian and Sri Lankan. It's much lighter, and as you can see, it's very fast to put together.